Hi there, Teacups. Welcome to the Brews Podcast with the tea is always brewing. I am your girl and your host, Ginger Spice, and welcome to my couch. Welcome to another podcast episode, ladies and gentlemen, gays and theys. I'm so excited to have you guys here. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. I hope you like it on this corner of the internet. And if you've been here before and you know what's going on, Shobozala Munjan. If you're listening to the podcast on streaming platforms such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please make sure you follow the podcast and you rate me 5 stars because I'm a 5-star girl. And if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, please make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you tell a friend to tell a friend. Almost forgot my own intro there for a sec. It has been a hot minute since I've been in front of you guys' screen like this and spoken to you guys like this. And I'm really sorry for disappearing on you guys. It was an impromptu hiatus. But no shame, my intention was never to run out and go grab milk on you guys. There was just a lot going on. Life was throwing curveball after curveball. And it was either this or I end up in viscopies. Like, genuinely, life was so horrific and so bad that something had to give, and unfortunately it was the podcast. But it's okay. On the brighter side, you guys are not attending my funeral, so all is well, all is good. But on like a real note though, shame, I've been going through the most and it's taken a lot out of me. And unfortunately, when I'm going through things, I really like to disappear and just be in my own corner of the world. I don't like to be in front of people. I grew up in a time where if you're going through things, bro, you must never look like your problems out in the public. So genuinely, when I'm going through the worst thing, I just wallow and disappear and shrivel up into this like dark hole, which is what happened this month. And shame, it's Pride Month. And what an L for the gays, because what was June, guys? What was June? Maybe for me personally, June was horrid. And I'm also upset because I had so much planned in terms of the podcast for the month of June. Because it is Pride Month, I wanted to celebrate Pride Month properly. I had a whole podcast series centered around the LGBTQ community. But unfortunately, I'm scrapping the project. I had to scrap it because it's the end of June now. I'm recording this on the 26th of June. So I already know we'll see when this episode does come out, or will be too late to continue with the series. I had invited guests even, which I was so excited about because I wanted more than one voice on this couch. But no shame. Unfortunately, it was unable to happen. So we'll try again next time. But yeah, my biggest apologies to the people that I had invited onto the pod. We will get another opportunity to be together again on the Brews Podcast couch, but this era of life was not that time, so my apologies. One of the curveballs that life threw at me was the fact that I had to move back home. So for people who are seeing the visuals, who are viewing the podcast, you guys can tell I'm in a different new environment. Well, it's new to you guys, but it's home sweet home for me. I am back home. And another delay to my return to the podcast was the fact that I didn't know what I was going to do in terms of the setup, because at the place I was living at before, it was very easy to have a setup, find time to shoot the podcast episode, find quiet. It was really easy. But here at home, it's a little bit more difficult because I don't, number one, have quiet. So it's just like, yee, how am I going to deal with that? But also, it was figuring out like the setup. But somehow I pulled it off. Like, I got an actual couch, which is really cool. I'm actually really excited about the couch, but I'm excited for the other things that I have planned in terms of the podcast, in terms of upgrading the podcast. First thing on my list is better equipment. For example, this microphone, it's fake. It's a prop, but it's better than nothing. I was using a hairbrush before, so you know what? There's levels to this. But I do want to get a proper mic one day, and also I want to get better lighting because I'm not even going to say what I'm using for lighting right now, but yes, I want to get better lighting equipment. I want to get a better podcast setup in general. But for now, this works and I'm doing my best. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me. So moving on to today's podcast episode, I just wanted to start off with saying we are changing things up. We're doing things a little differently for today, purely because I'm trying to ease my way back into podcasting again, but also my heart is calling for me to do something different. So, for starters, we will not be doing dilemmas today. I will come back to the dilemmas in Zobui. But for now, I want to encourage you guys to actually send dilemmas. Please, please send in dilemmas. You can submit the dilemmas on my Instagram. I have a highlight for the podcast. Just look for the microphone picture. But in the highlight, there is a Google form where you can submit the dilemmas that you guys have that you'd like for me to read out on the podcast for us to discuss and for us to unpack. But yes, you guys can find it there. But I will also put the link to the Google form in the description boxes. So, like, I'll make them accessible to you guys so that you guys can find them. Also, the Google form is anonymous, so I will not be seeing who submitted the dilemma. So just right away, guys. I love when you guys interact with me. I love when you guys engage with me. Also, it's very good for the podcast for you guys to interact and engage and to comment and to like, because it puts the podcast in front of more people and the podcast gets to grow. So please support the journey, Bazalwane. Please. Then there will also be no cookie jar topic for today, purely because I am feeling spontaneous, but I also want to let my heart lead me. There's something that's brewing in my heart, something that I've been thinking about a lot that I want to talk about, and I want to let my intuition and my gut lead me. So we are going to stray from the normal setup or the normal procedure of things for the pod. But nje, for now, bear with me. Just hear me out, hear me out. Just like, let me land, guys. Today's podcast episode is titled Find Your Way Back, based on the song by Beyonce from the Gift album, Find Your Way Back. It's a banging track. You guys should check it out. Really, honestly, please check it out. But also, I'm naming the episode that because for today, we're going to be reviewing the first half of 2026 and what it was like for me. There's a lot of comments I have to make for this first half of the year, but also the theme for myself this year has been finding your way back. Like, in the past, I've had like theme words. This is the first year where I've had like a theme song, I guess, and it's definitely been Find Your Way Back, like a constant reminder for me to kind of recenter myself and to come back to my roots, which I've been trying to do. And to be honest, it is the only thing that's keeping the hope alive in my heart, because if I'll be completely frank, there's no hope in my heart right now. And I realized this the other day. Uguti, I don't have hope. Nje, hope it dismally down. I'm upset all the time. I am fearful all the time. I'm distraught all the time. I can feel myself slowly but surely sinking and spiraling into this depression. But I wake up every morning and I try to hee hee ha ha my way through life. Right? Like I'm not okay. And I made that joke earlier about trying not to end up in Viscopies. I don't know how many times this year alone I've been like, ring, ring, ring. Tell the doctor to put me away, ladies and gentlemen, because genuinely this year has been tough on me. But it has not just been tough on me, it's been tough on everyone from so many different standpoints. People are going through things spiritually, people are going through things financially, emotionally, mentally. Nje kuningi, and it's getting kuningier. Honestly, for me, 2026 has been the worst year that I've experienced like in a while. I thought, yo, guys, 2025, I thought it was bad, but it really was not that bad. 2025 compared to 2026 looks like a dream. I mean, yes, I was going through things in 2025, but they weren't as bad as this. And I have cried so much this year. So much. Like, I've cried. Guys, I can guarantee you there has not been a week where I have not cried. And as a person who's not a crier, yes, I'm very emotional, but I'm not a crier like that. Hi, Inyembezi that have fallen out of my eye sockets this year. Jeez, man, like what is actually going on? Bafazi, I'm gonna tell you all the truth. I don't like being a crier. I don't like crying in public. I don't like people knowing that I'm upset. The whole thing of, yes, I'm an emotional person, but I don't like showing negative emotions in front of the people. I genuinely don't. I feel a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment when it comes to my feelings, because I guess I grew up in an environment that always taught me, oh, I'm always overreacting, and my feelings, I always over exaggerate them. So I don't like showing how I feel to people. Hence the whole disappearing act that I do when I feel strong emotions, because yes, ngiyagoa, but I'm not gonna let you see me like that. I'm gonna come back my singi rights. Being cool, but singi rights manje type of vibe. So this year has really showed me flames in terms of that. And I went through something earlier on in the year where I was upset about something and I was crying, and I was basically crying like the whole day. Like the crying went on for hours to the point where I was dehydrated. I could barely see, my eyes were puffy. And because of the friends that I have made, I'm used to ngizokhala, ngikhale, and no one's gonna know that I was crying because no one really checks up on me. No one's really gonna see me unless I'm outside. So next thing I know, go at my window, go at my door, and I'm like, what? And because of the friends that I made, I had to be upfront and honest about why I was upset and had to process all those feelings with someone, which is something that was new for me. I liked it, to be quite honest. Like having a safe space where I could be vulnerable like that was also really, really cool. Also, I'm in look okay. I didn't think I was gonna drop this tidbit of information, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. I'm in a romantic relationship that's been going well for a while. One of my favorite things about this person is their capacity to hold emotion, if that is the right terminology for it. But I am a very emotional person. They are, I don't want to say that they're not emotional, but they're not as reactive as I am. But something I love about them, something I deeply appreciate, is that they're able to hold space for all of my feelings and all my things. And I was saying to them how frustrated I am that I'm always crying. And they're like, well, it's normal. It's a normal human thing to do. And I love that because it's just like, rather than encouraging the shame and the guilt that I feel and making me feel even more embarrassed, they are really gentle and really calm with me. And I just wanted to say to the people that have entered my life recently, you guys entered my life in a really dark season, but I'm really appreciative for you because you guys have been so gentle and held space for me in a way that I am not used to. Because in that incident where I was crying the whole day, dehydrated, I'm on the floor, yonke into, I was so taken aback when someone checked on me because I was like, Ufundandla, are you not busy? Do you not have things to do? But not only did they check on me, but they checked on me and sat with me and were with me through all my feelings. And it made me feel less alone. It was so comforting to have that. And I realized the importance of having people because even though this has been probably the worst 6 months of my life, one of the things that have held me together is the people that I've been around. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I learned that I like people. Like I genuinely like people. I like being around people. People is cool. But I tend to isolate myself because it's a coping mechanism that I learned growing up. But when the option to hide myself and disappear was taken away, I learned, no man, like umhlaba uyabhubha, but I'm chilling because the people I'm chilling with are also chill people. Like I'm having fun here. And going through things with people around you is so different to doing it by yourself because as much as they can't change your situation or fix your situation, they make it lighter. Like the load that I'm carrying, I'm not carrying it by myself. So I was reflecting on that and realizing that I love the people that have entered my life over the years because some of them have taught me important lessons. And the important lesson that I'm learning in this season of my life is just how to have grace with myself and to hold space for myself. Because this season for me has been really, really dark. Like I can joke and I can make people laugh and all of these things, but I'm not okay. Like the honest truth is I'm not okay. And I'm in the dark pits right now. Like, you know how people talk about rock bottom? Well, I am in rock bottom's basement. I'm not sure. I don't know why I was told to pretend like I'm okay because I think the whole pretending to be okay part of everything is what's making it worse. Because not only am I fighting for my life, but I'm fighting for my life and I still have to smile in people's faces like I'm okay. No, guys, I'm actually so sick of it and I don't want that. And I think that's also why I wanted to record today because I guess I wanted to remove the shame of going through something. I wanted to remove the shame of not being okay. And as someone who grew up as a perfectionist, as someone who had to be picture perfect all the time, I'm trying to learn how to be comfortable being embarrassed and feeling ashamed. I'm learning how to be comfortable not being perfect all the time and not being put together all the time, which I think is an important lesson for us as people and human beings to learn, because on the other side of that discomfort and that embarrassment is so much growth, and you realize a lot about yourself. Shame is definitely something that holds us back as people. It definitely stunts our growth. So, me doing this whole thing of forcing myself to confront my shame, it's scary, yes, and it's uncomfortable as heck. But I'm excited to see where it takes me, because obviously branching outside of my comfort zone is good for me, number one. But I really want to grow. I want to become more than what I am now, because I genuinely feel like I've let shame hold me back for so long. But it's not just shame, it's also fear. Just I've let fear rule my life for such a long time. And it's basically held me captive for essentially my whole life, because nje ngiyasaba, and I don't understand what I'm exactly afraid of. But it's always been there. And fear can be so crippling. So that's what I'm trying to do. Hence why I'm titling this episode Find Your Way Back, because I want to find my way back to being somebody who was brave, somebody who was experimental, somebody who would test the boundaries, someone who would go above and beyond. Because as much as fear has ruled a huge part of my life, I remember being a kid who was fearless and who would do whatever she wanted. But that was, chopped at the knees quite early on. So I want to find my way back to that person. I want to find my way back to a person who used to fight for her life. Because that's another thing. Like, I've noticed that I don't fight as much as I used to. Earlier on, I said that I have lost hope. It goes beyond that. I think the spark in me has died out and I've lost hope, but also I've stopped fighting for things. I've also stopped being hungry. Yes, I used to be a very ambitious person. I used to be somebody who used to take life by the reins and just, charge forward. But as of late, dude, I'm not hungry. There are things that obviously I want to achieve and things that I'm striving for. But I find myself in this position where, hey, dog, I want those things, but I'm not as hungry for them as I used to be. I've become really complacent and I've become so indifferent to my dreams and my ambitions, which is a scary thing to confront, because why have I become like that? This season of my life has definitely forced me to confront my humanness, to confront the uncomfortable parts of myself that I'm not cool with yet. It's forced me to become self aware, but in a completely different way. Because I like to consider myself as someone who's self aware, but I'm now self aware of my ugliness. And I'm not talking in a physical sense, I'm talking in a mental, psychological, spiritual sense. I'm starting to be confronted with all the things that are not necessarily cute, not necessarily fun to be around. I'm being forced to realize that I am human and I'm not perfect and I'm flawed way beyond what I thought I was. Again, this is uncomfortable for me because I grew up in an environment where I had to be picture perfect, put together, this goody two shoes who could do no wrong. It's completely okay to be human and to be emotional and to show weakness and to feel ashamed and to feel embarrassed. I think it's about what you do with all those feelings, but it's completely normal and it's completely okay, because at the end of the day, you are human. You are not a robot. You are not AI. You are not a construct. You're an actual living, breathing human being with feelings and with thoughts and dreams and aspirations and flaws and faults. You are a human being. So that does mean you are going to come with shortcomings, and it's okay to own them and accept them, because I guess that's the only way you are able to change them and work on them. So flaunt your stuff, girl. Shake what your mama gave you and stuff. Lately, life has been showing me that you can do wrong, sissy. And also, a lot of the messes that I've been in as of late, I have gotten there because of my own shortcomings and my own faults and my own flaws. Like, in life you'll deal with situations, and yes, it wasn't your fault, but you'll deal with them, things happen, life moves on. But in this particular season of my life, some of the messes that I found myself in were my fault. Full context, one of the things that have happened in the past 6 months is I almost got sued, and potentially arrested. I don't know. I can't really go into the details of what happened and why, but I was sitting and reflecting about it and I was realizing, Ginger girl, you got yourself in that mess because of Papa, and you were trying to be liked by everyone and friends with everyone, and you landed yourself in that mess. Because had I just followed the mandate that I set for myself last year and just minded my own business and stayed in my room, I never would have been in that position. Yes, the situation in itself is not my fault. But the whole thing of trying to be friends with everyone, yeah, that was my own fault. Because the first thing that happened when the whole situation was unfolding was people were like, it has to be Ginger because Velo Ginger turned in down and she's always in people's business. I was like, oh, hold the phone. But I couldn't even defend myself because my character hadn't been squeaky clean either. So I had to sit there and be like, yeah, I messed up. And yeah, ngibetile. I'm innocent, but ngibetile. So it was just a bumpy ride, to be fair. It was just so, ugh. And that's another thing, like realizing that my character sometimes can't speak for itself because I am not as squeaky clean or goody two shoes as I think I am. I am flawed. I do make mistakes. I have poor judgment sometimes. I do things that I think are okay and I intend no wrong. But when we look back, when we share a VAR, you see what's in no, Chinjam. You are the villain in the story in this point in time. So it was just like so weird. Like imagine me not having credibility. I think past versions of myself would be so disappointed because what do you mean? What do you mean, dude? Like all your situation. But no shame. I've been through a rough couple of months and ah, there's a lot that I'm learning and a lot that I'm processing and a lot that I'm thinking about. Bouncing off of number two, number three is be gracious. Be gracious towards yourself, especially. I think as somebody who grew up being really hard on herself, I have forgotten how important it is to be kind to myself. And I'm not saying be completely blind to the things that you do wrong, but show grace in allowing yourself to be human and giving yourself the room to fix those mistakes and to adjust and to learn and to pivot. I think constantly harboring on all the things that you've done wrong just makes it worse for yourself because you also start to develop other issues like low self esteem or negative self talk and things of that nature because you're constantly focused on all the things that you've done wrong. And you know what? I'm low key just a little bit a hypocrite because I, in the recent weeks, have noticed that whenever things go wrong in my life, I become my own worst enemy. I hate how I become my biggest bully when things in my life are going askew. I really wish my brain was a lot more resilient when it came to the way that I dealt with things because, yes, life is hitting the fan. But just because life is hitting the fan doesn't suddenly mean, oh, I'm the worst person to ever walk the earth and I'm ugly. Like, yo, dude, please show me the correlation between going through something bad in my life and suddenly having body image issues. I used to struggle with body dysmorphia growing up. But my golly gosh, does that thing not return with a force of a truck whenever shit hits the fan? Like, I don't understand it. And I was explaining this to someone about how it's generally all in my head and it's all in my brain. Like I can intellectually know that I am gorgeous. I can intellectually know that I am smart. I can intellectually know, oh, everything is going to be okay. But somehow my feelings will not align with that. And somehow I'm bullying myself off of something that is not even fact. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm the baddest bitch on the block. Okay. I like to toot my own horn and I have spent years trying to build my own confidence, learning how to love myself, dealing with all my insecurities. And I really hate how the first thing that my mind does when I'm not okay is to bully me. So instead of being my own safe space, I add on top of the issues that I'm facing. And I really hate that. I really hate that. But I'm learning how to be gracious and kinder to myself all my days because I definitely need that. learning how to be gracious has been a very big lesson in my life. And I was saying earlier how my partner has been constantly reminding me of this. And obviously, I know it's not the first time that I'm hearing of it, but having him around has been really, really cool because he's helping me learn how to be gracious with myself in very practical ways. And another thing that I've noticed, the more I learn to be gracious and kinder to myself, the more I learn that I am deserving of things. There was a point in my life where I didn't even think that I was allowed to have good people around me. But even in this podcast episode, I've expressed that there are people that I love and I care for. And I've started to build like a cutesy little village around me. And I'm so happy to be a villager myself. But once upon a time, I would have self sabotaged all of that and destroyed it. But in learning how to be gracious, how to be kinder, how to be good, how to love thyself, I've learned ukuthi I'm deserving and I'm worthy of all these good things. So I think it's an important lesson for a lot of us to learn and a lot of us to marinate and sit on and for us to process through it because people don't realize how important it is that you think highly of yourself. They don't realize how important it is to see yourself in a good light because yo guys, you can honestly destroy yourself just with your mind alone. And that's coming from someone with experience, someone who's been there, done that before. And I'm telling you as a person who has the potential to do that now in their current state, but is actively trying not to. Like I made the joke earlier on in the episode about ending up in Viscopies and potentially you guys attending my funeral. I don't want you guys to attend my funeral because, first of all, I don't even think y'all know funeral songs. But for me to allow that not to happen, then I need to learn how to be okay, how to breathe, how to live my life, how to be joyful. And it's still a long journey ahead. But I'm proud of the strides that I've made in the past 6 months because, no shame, the past 6 months have not been kind, have not been easy, but I've made a lot of progress and I'm growing a lot and I'm really proud of myself. Shame. Another thing that I've realized is that as much as I like people and I'm learning that I like people and I'm excited about it, because I've thought all my life that I'm an introvert, that's so false. I am not an introvert, but I'm also very generous in the title friend. Like I like to call a lot of people my friend. I This year has really shown me who are my friends and who aren't my friends. But on top of that, it's shown me the difference between someone who's my friend and someone who's being a good person. There's some people that you encounter in your life that are just being cool people because they are cool people, but it doesn't necessarily make them your friend. They can be friendly for sure, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're your friend. And on the flip end of that, you can encounter people and you guys think you are chomies and you are built in and you're locked in and all of these things. Kanti bakufisela okubi, they want the worst for you, or they will sell you down the river, or nje, they do bad stuff, bro. And you're thinking, how you were my friend 2 seconds ago, what happened? But hey, it's a learning curve, it's a journey, it's a thing. So reflecting on 2026, not everyone who you think is your friend. So be mindful who you give that title to. Be intentional as well as who you give that title to, because the role and job of a friend is actually a really big, important role. I once saw a podcast that said being a friend to someone is actually a ministry. And for those who follow the Christian faith, you realize how big of a deal that is. And if I apply that context to my life, yeah, it actually is because you are responsible for someone's life in essence. So, yeah, not everyone who is your friend is your friend. So, learn how to differentiate between the snakes in the grass and your true chomies, hey? And another thing that I am learning, this one is, I guess, the hardest one to learn so far, is that I don't own people. I don't own people. They are not possessions, they are not objects. Like I've mentioned, there are people in my life that I love and I care for, and I'm building this tribe and it's all great, halala. But also in the midst of all of that, I'm experiencing a lot of grief. Grief for people that are still alive and well, that are living. Like I'm holding funerals for living people on a regular basis. And I'm trying to be okay, but I'm actually not okay. But I have to accept that I don't own umuntu. I don't own them. I get to experience them. Like they're mine in the sense that I get to experience them, share parts of my life with them, but they're not mine in terms of the fact that I own them and they're an object that I can claim. Which for me, as somebody who struggles with, I guess, abandonment, it's hard to wrap my mind around it because I would do anything for people to stay. Earlier on, I mentioned how I got into a really bad situation because being Papa, and I was trying to be friends with everyone, and I was trying to be liked by everyone. And I was genuinely willing to do anything for people to like me and to stick around because it's very scary to think about the fact that people could up and leave at any given moment. But they have every right to. Like, it sucks. It really does suck. It's awful. But they have every right to up and leave and to move on with their lives and to do their own thing. Because at the end of the day, life does move on. And while I deal with that grief and whatnot, I'm trying to also get to the acceptance stage faster. I'm trying to train my mind to reach acceptance before I react out of heavy emotion. There's this quote that my mom used to have on the fridge that said, oh, it's not a quote, it's a prayer. But my mom used to have this prayer on the fridge that said, Lord, please give me the courage to change the things that I can change, the serenity to accept the things that I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. And in this case, I want serenity in terms of not being able to force people to stick around. Yes, I'm going to be rejected. Yes, I'm going to be abandoned. Like, it's going to happen. And I want to learn how to be okay with that. Yes, it sucks and it hurts, but I don't want to be angry every time someone leaves my life. I don't want to be angry every time someone and I fall out. I don't want to be angry every time me and a close friend drift apart. Like, I want to learn how to accept it and let it go with an open heart. So it's been a hard lesson. It's really, really tough, especially as someone who's recently learning that she loves people and she's not actually an introvert. But yeah, I'm just like sad because I don't want to keep holding funerals for living people. But if that's the season I'm in, oh well, I guess I have to accept it. This year has not been easy for me and it has not been easy for others. But I'm hoping that the pain that I've gone through has led to wisdom that I can share with you guys. Because sometimes we need to hear things rather than experience it for ourselves. It's our responsibility, obviously, to listen and to open our ears. But hey, dude, going through things and learning via experience it sucks. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen because that's how life works. But if you are able to learn something rather than experience it yourself, then go ahead, do that. Because trust me, learning the hard way is not cute. It's not cute. But yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you for you guys sitting and listening to me ramble this whole episode, essentially, because I had no plan. I was just following where the wind was taking me, to be quite honest. And I hope some of the things that I've said today have resonated with you. I hope you guys take what I've said today and you store it and you marinate on it. If you've got questions, if you've got queries, comment away. If you want to send a dilemma based on what I've said today, send the dilemma. But yeah, guys, 2026 has not been easy so far. But I am proud of myself and I'm proud of you guys and I'm proud of us for still being here and still trying and still getting up every day and doing our thing. I am also proud of us for being able to find joy despite the destruction that's happening around us. And guys, genuinely, the world feels like it's coming to an end. There's so much happening. Like, for example, right now in the country, there's a lot of xenophobia and a lot of issues regarding the foreign nationals crisis happening in the country. Then we have in Afghanistan, women basically have no rights. Like, that's just what it is. And the more I think about it, there's so much going on and there's so much pain and there's so much hurt in the world. And we're literally losing the plot as a human race. But somehow, in the middle of all of that, we're finding joy and we're making jokes. Like, South Africa, bro, qualified past the group stages for the FIFA World Cup, and our country is celebrating and we're so happy. And the fact that we're able to be happy despite all the crazy things that are happening, hey, Shame, I'm really proud of us. Like, we really need that. Like, I need to learn how to do that because I don't like the way that I sink into a depression every time something bad happens. But no shame, we're doing pretty okay. The kid's gonna be alright. In the words of the epic poet Kendrick Lamar, we're gonna be all right. We are gonna be all right. But yeah, I hope you guys are okay. I hope you liked this episode. I have no idea if I kept it short and sweet or not, but we'll see when I'm editing. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I am back. I am back. There will be more episodes coming out. Thank you so much for your patience and your grace, Bazalwane. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. We will talk another time. Please make sure, if you are listening on streaming platforms, you follow and you rate the podcast 5 stars because I am a 5-star girl. And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, another reminder, I will be making the Google form for the dilemmas accessible to you, so don't you worry. And if you are new here, bro, might as well subscribe, might as well follow the podcast. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But yeah, guys, until next time, mwah, bye.